That's right. It's the coveted blue check mark, right? On Twitter, it tells the world that you've been verified. Let me tell you, I have filled out that form countless times. They closed the program down a few years ago, then they just brought it back up. So if you want to be verified by Twitter, you fill out this form, you submit a picture ID, your driver's license, your passport, and then they come back to you and say, yes, you too get the blue check mark. Just to mess with Twitter, I wanted to say that I was Stephen King's son, but that wouldn't work because I was just joking. And you see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, just the example of fun that we have here week after week, the transference of just pure entertainment and intellect and know-how. It's called the Kim Komando Show, and you can find us on over 420 top stations from coast to coast, and you can find us streaming in your favorite radio app, and also streaming whenever you want to watch the show or listen to the show. You can head over to getkim.com, and also you hear us on the American Forces Network Radio that serves more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries and 200 ships at sea. And of course, I'm your beloved digital goddess here with you once again.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. All right, let's get started with 5 things that you need to know about tech that's happening right now. You know about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all these other cryptocurrencies. They've never had a year quite like this one. Just the whole idea of actually talking about cryptocurrency is going mainstream. And if you followed along, you can see just how crazy, how volatile the market can be. That takes a plunge just based on all kinds of economic factors, what's going on in the world. And, Elon Musk, he wakes up and he decides to tweet about it. But crypto is unregulated. It's not backed by any type of government or bank. And now it's really starting to get some attention from lawmakers and regulators because they say, we need to change that. And they want protection for investors. And the government, I know it's going to shock you, they want their share too. Just this past week, the U.S. Treasury Department announced that they're going to require any cryptocurrency transfers of $10,000 or more be reported to the IRS, or you could face tax evasion. So all this interest isn't that surprising. The current chair of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission taught a course on blockchain over at MIT. I mean, I would dive deeper into it, what the future might hold, but it might come off as a bit of Bitcoin descending. All right, number 2, more about cryptocurrency. Bitcoin value fell to lows not seen in months and months. The value of a single Bitcoin was $30,000. Now, a month ago, just to give you an idea, $60,000. Imagine if the dollar lost half of its value in about a month. Ethereum dropped 40%, and it all has to do with who's tweeting who about it and who's new to the game. But China came in this past week, and they say, we're going to crack down harder than ever. It's a country where they have banned cryptocurrency. And then Elon Musk, part of Bitcoin's dips, they say, he changed his mind about allowing people to buy Tesla cars using Bitcoin. He calls himself the Doge father. And a lot of scammers are now impersonating Elon Musk. So you have to be really important. I mean, just don't go on the internet and say, Elon Musk, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, Doge, and then you start clicking like crazy. Just between the months of October and March, Americans reported losing a total of $80 million to crypto scams. $2 million of that went to Elon Musk impersonators. So moving right along, how about number 3? Artificial intelligence. If you're looking for a job, I want you to listen up to this one. Let's say you find the perfect job. You have the resume, the well-crafted cover letter. You fill out all these endless forms asking questions that are already on your resume, but it's on the application, so you kind of have to do that. Over the past few years, a lot of corporations started using artificial intelligence to speed along the hiring process, and that means filtering out applicants that they say are not worthy of further consideration. So mixing AI with HR is causing a whole bunch of concern when it comes to discrimination because AI has trouble recognizing dark skin, and maybe they only choose male candidates for a specific position. And other AI job screening tools use algorithms to try to gauge the emotional state, get that, of the applicant just based on facial expressions. So more than ever, I want you to pay attention to your resume, your applications, and also your photos that you're submitting. And if you're currently on the hunt for a new job, I hear that they're hiring at Old McDonald's Farm. They're looking for a new CIEIO. All right, number 4. Have you ever considered what your phone's home screen says about you? Well, thanks to some psychologists that partnered with a phone retailer in the UK, here's what they say. Having all your apps organized in folders by color or some other system tends to mean that, well, you're an organized person. That makes sense. They say that you like to have order and structure in your lives. Now, what about people who have just pages and pages of apps with no real order, and then all these tiny notification dots hang out on more than half of them? That kind of chaos means that they must be disorganized, right? Psychologists say you just might be better at prioritizing and ignoring these details that just don't matter. And you're probably more spontaneous because let me tell you, I have at least 5 pages of apps on my phone. No rhyme or reason why. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll take some time over the weekend to organize it, but I'm just not the type of person who would say, okay, we're going to put all the utilities here, all the photos, all that. It's like, not so much. Finally, number 5. Would you like to be the owner of one of the very first viral videos? I mean, back in the day, 15 years ago, the concept of viral videos was pretty new. And one of the first involved 2 young brothers named Charlie and Harry, and they lived in the UK. And in this short video, 3-year-old Harry, he gets his finger bitten by his baby brother Charlie, and it's really cute. It was posted to YouTube in 2007. It has, get this, 900 million views. Now, normally we would play a little bit of the video, but we don't have it. So let me do my very best impersonation. Harry says, "Charlie, you bit my finger." Okay. All right. There wasn't a lot to see on YouTube back then. Well, the boys are now teenagers and they're going to cash in because they're going to auction it off as an NFT. Remember those non-fungible tokens? They can be anything digital, a work of art, a meme, viral trading cards, video clips that are minted as one of a kind by using blockchain. Now, over the past few months, various NFTs have sold for anywhere from hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. So the Charlie Bit Me video is being auctioned off this weekend on the Ethereum blockchain. And once that video has a new owner, it's going to be deleted from YouTube forever. You know, I saw another YouTube video of a pretty slick airplane that does tricks, but it only had a couple of hundred views. It just didn't really, take off. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254. Once again, is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder is that if you ever have a question for me that you want to ask me here on the show, or we'll go ahead and answer one of our posts on the newsletter, like our tips or how-tos, or maybe even the news, you can always drop me an email over at komando.com. That's KOMANDO.com. And at the bottom of every single page, there's a link that says Contact Us. All right. What a happy day this is. We get to start this hour with a dear friend of mine, a dear friend of the show, Father Andrew in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Hello, Kim.
How are you, Father Andrew?
I'm doing pretty well. But it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm actually now in Laramie, Wyoming.
Oh, Laramie,
and
Wyoming.
that actually plays a part in why I'm calling you.
Okay, what's going on?
That's why I bring it up. So I became the pastor at St. Lawrence O'Toole here in Laramie. So being pastor is important in all of this because as a pastor, I am finally allowed by diocesan policy to own a dog.
Oh, nice.
So I hadn't really considered it because I travel so much and there's a lot into getting a dog. But some of my really good friends need to rehome their blue heeler. And her name is Piper. And I've known Piper for 4 years, and she's a great dog. But Piper gets too anxious when their child cries, and to the point that it's just not going to work. Okay. So they decided that they need to rehome Piper, and so they offered her to me first because I've taken care of this dog. I know this dog, and the dog knows me, and I'm in a position where, of course, I am not going to have a screaming child in my house very often.
Right.
So I'm super excited. You know, she's house trained. She's fantastic with people. but I am definitely what you'd consider a newbie in terms of being a dog owner. So I grew up with dogs, but definitely have never owned a dog myself. So I want to know, since you have your wonderful Abby and you're a dog person as well,
Right.
I want to know what kind of tech I should be looking for or should be aware of in becoming a new dog owner. The one thing that comes to my mind is I would love to have something that would track her in case for some reason she got lost.
Well, yes.
Beyond that, I want all your recommendations.
Well, you know what? Thanks for calling, Father Andrew. You know, you're so special to me. You know that. I mean, how long have we known each other? Like what? 15 years? I mean,
my first call onto the show was when I was a junior in high school, and that was in 2006.
Okay.
So we've known each other for 15 years, yeah.
Exactly. All right, so yeah, the tracker is number one. Well, first of all, make sure that Piper's chipped, just in case. Okay. Number two is that dogs become part of your family. They really do. I mean, I love Abby.
Yeah.
I think she's an amazing, amazing little girl. And the tracker was paramount for me to put that on her collar. And I'm even so paranoid that on her collar is my cell phone number. If found, call this number. Because the thing about dogs, if they get lost, then, it's not like they can say, hey, I live over there, and so it really depends upon technology. So you've got a couple of options. The first thing that I bought was the Whistle dog fit collar. And it's this little pink thing, or they have other colors, but a little pink thing that you put on their collar. And I thought it was going to be really phenomenal. And I was super excited about it until I replaced it 3 times. And then sometimes here in Phoenix, I would look on my phone to see where Abby was. And it would say, honest to gosh, it would say that Abby was in Blythe. I'm like, she's not in Blythe, okay? I time out. I know she's not in Blythe. So I went shopping for a newer collar, and that's where I found Fi, and it's Fi. Fi costs, and all these come with a subscription. Fi is $100 a year, and it works. It does. It tells me exactly where Abby is located, and I can see it on a map, and it doesn't mess up and tell me she's hundreds of miles away. In addition to that, anytime that you had to take the Whistle on and off her collar and to charge it, now you just take the collar off the dog, at night or what have you, and then you put it on the charging station, and it just works. It does. Now, there's another collar that is getting a lot of traction right now, and it's called the Halo collar. That's Halo. The Fi collar is about $150. The Halo collar, get this, is $800 to $1,000. Okay. Plus $40 a month. Okay, we love our dogs, but here's what the difference is. The Halo collar allows you to put like a geofence on the app. So if she goes beyond the fence, the geofence, the virtual fence, is that the dog's going to get like a little jolt, like, okay. So the dog knows I can't go past that barrier. Now, not everybody needs that. I don't know if I want to give my dog a little jolt, right? So I would say go with the Fi, and then send me pictures of Piper. I have like a new niece in the family, a new cousin.
Hey, absolutely.
You got it.
One quick follow-up question, if you don't mind.
I'm running out of time, Andrew, so go ahead, go quick.
I was just wondering, what was your thoughts on using an AirTag as well for that kind of thing?
You know what? I'm going to put you on hold, which I hardly ever do. And when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about AirTags, Apple AirTags versus Tiles, and whether or not you really want to use that as a pet tracker. So stay right where you are. More of the show is coming right up. So Father Andrew, let's talk about AirTags, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So AirTags are these tile substitutes, all competition, that Apple came out with just a few weeks ago. You can get a pack of 4 for $100, or one is $29.99. And you can buy the special leather AirPod holders from Apple, and they're, $35 each. And of course, we're going to have all kinds of people that are going to be coming up with knockoff holders. But just for right now, this is what's generally available. So you're looking at these AirTags, and they are really fabulous. It goes down pinpoint accuracy. The reason why I wouldn't put one on Abby is because unless I could really figure out a way to secure it to the collar, I would be reluctant to bank on that, because I'd be afraid her running around, going outside, going in the pool, which, by the way, I don't know if Piper's going to go in the pool, but with the Phi, I can let her just go in the pool with the whistle. I mean, with the collar on. With the whistle, I would have to take it off her collar every single time. Okay. And so I wouldn't trust the AirTags. Not with Piper, not with Abby. So that said, get the Phi and then send me some pictures.
Absolutely.
And you all good other than that?
I am all good. My initial reaction was to get an AirTag, but I definitely mean to check out the Phi.
Yeah, check out the Phi. I think you'll look at it just a little bit differently, because the AirTag, I know it sounds great, and I really was thinking about that myself. But once I got my hands on the AirTag and I started thinking about, and the AirTag relies on Apple's network. And if you are in a rural area like there in Laramie, it may not have all the signals that it needs. It's Apple's way of creating their own network. It's really a fascinating technology, truly. Mark in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hi there, Mark.
Hi, Kim. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Oh, I guess I'll have to be really nice to you then.
Yeah, I really appreciate you did some kind of web podcast on a tax deductions for people that work from home.
Yes.
And I took notes on that. That's great, because I've been working from home for 3 or 4 months now. So,
well, and the rules all changed after COVID. And I was really surprised myself when I did the podcast. I did it with a tax accountant. Her name is Rachel. And I was really surprised that if you bought a whole bunch of stuff for your home office because you had to work from home, it may not be deductible. I was like, wait, what's going on there? So anyway, how can I help you?
So my father-in-law recently moved in with us. And as he gets older, his hearing is getting worse and worse. And he's gotten to the point where the TV is turned up so loud you can hear it from outside. Oh. So I was thinking, gosh, it'd be great if he had a little personal TV speaker right beside him. Mm-hmm. And I looked into our TV, and the only audio output it has is, I guess, the SPDIF output.
Okay.
So, I was thinking, and I found TV speakers and stuff, but a lot of them were rechargeable, and the battery lasted 6 to 10 hours.
Okay.
But he watches TV probably 90% of the time he's up. So,
wow. Okay. That's a lot. Okay. All right. So we can help you. Okay.
Great.
So you're not going to be like, oh my gosh, I love him, but can he turn it down just a little? Right?
Right. It drives us nuts.
It does drive you nuts. I know it does. And so, but thanks to technology, 20 years ago, you'd just have to grin and bear it. You'd put cotton balls in your ears, but now at least you can have some relief, and it's really nice that you're becoming a caregiver for your in-law, because so many people are doing this now. I mean, I've been a caregiver for my mother for several years, and
right.
it's a lot of work. It is.
It's tough, yeah.
It's tough, but what's the other option, right? I mean, they're your parents, so that's what you got.
Right, and they took care of us
exactly.
when we were babies and stuff. So,
exactly. It's just the full circle
we can
of
change
life.
their diapers too.
Yeah, it's just that's what happens. All right, so can he wear? So you said a speaker, but what if we got him like some headphones?
Well, so he's got dementia, maybe Alzheimer's. So he's really. I don't think he can handle earphones or earbuds, headphones, All
right.
I think it would be best if he had like a little radio or something sitting by him that he could turn up and down.
There's a wireless TV speaker that is made for seniors. It has a 100-foot range between the receiver and the speaker, and it's about the size of it's about 5 inches around. And so it's something that you can plug into the wall, and then by using wireless RF, not Bluetooth, is that the signal from the TV is going to go directly into that speaker right next to him. And the other thing that he can also do is if he wanted to at that point, or if maybe for some reason is that he wanted to move around or what have you, is that you can take the battery, you can unplug this wireless speaker because it also works on a battery, and the battery lasts for about 6 hours. But the fact is that you're not relying totally on the battery. It's made by a company called Simolio, and I will send you a link over to this product. It's about $130. And I think when I was looking this up, because you actually sent me an email as well, because I always like to learn more things, is that I actually went to John, our IT genius, and I said, John, what could we get? What could this guy get that would totally help and make peace in the household? Okay, so
exactly.
so we don't have to hear Wheel of Fortune or Judge Judy, 3 blocks away. We don't want to do that.
Gosh, how did you know?
Experience.
Right. And Jeopardy too,
And there's Jeopardy, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, there's Jeopardy. But just tell me that there's no Dr. Phil. Is there Dr. Phil?
There's no Dr. Phil.
Oh, gosh.
But there is Young and the Restless, because he doesn't turn the channel. It's like, Dad, you watching this? No, I'm not watching this. I thought maybe somebody else was. Well, there's nobody else in the room. Gosh. Oh, God, I could go on and on. But so does that work with the optical output?
Well, you're going to have a little receiver that you're going to connect to the TV, and then the two will work through. The two will work through RF. It's not a big deal to set it up. It's really easy, and you'll from now on you'll be like, you know what? Next time you have a problem, you're going to be like, I'm just going to call Kim, okay? Because you just said you're a long-time listener. I mean, I don't know what's been taking you so long. I'm sure that I could have helped you with something along the way.
I started listening in the middle '90s, and Whoa out of Fort Wayne.
Yes. I'm still on Whoa. And I
know.
What I think is really funny is that whenever they send down copy, it's like whoever writes the copy, because to do promos, they'll say, Kim, make sure you don't say WOWO. I'm like, I know that.
Okay.
We say whoa. Everybody knows that you say whoa. Mark, thank you so much for your call, and I appreciate you getting through. Finally here on the show. So our digital life hack is about custom ringtones. You might be sitting there going, why the heck would I want a custom ringtone? Well, if you're standing in an office situation, or you're home or the airport and somebody's phone rings, you all have the same ringtone. You're like, oh, is that me? No, it's not me. But more importantly is that you can set up custom ringtones so you know who's calling even before you look at your phone, even before you want to answer it. So you can have custom ringtones for your parents or for your kids, for their teachers, your boss, whatever it may be. Now, these custom ringtones, it takes a little bit of work, but it's not out there. I mean, it's something that you can do in, say, a good hour. And they have names like AVC Wear, Ringtone Maker, iTunes Machine, Ringtone Maker. And so we've got links to all these different places that you can go, but these are our top 3 picks. Now, once you decide which song you're going to use and how you can make your own ringtone, now you got to get it on your phone. And so, of course, you're going to need the steps on setting up a custom ringtone on your iPhone. Of course, we're going to help you do that on an iPhone as well as on your Android. And it's actually a pretty cool thing to do. So if you have some extra time this weekend, and maybe over the next couple of days, if you're listening to the Kim Komando Show during the week, is that you make sure that you want to check this out and do it now while you're thinking about it. Head over to Komando.com and then hit the link there that says Kim Show. Still to come this hour, there's a scary text scam that's spreading, and I'm going to tell you more about that. And, of course, we have more of your phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Rusty in San Antonio, Texas. Hello there, Rusty.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
Fantastic, sir. Thanks for asking.
Well, I sure am glad to be on the show. I'm a big fan, and I just love all your tips on cybersecurity and stuff. Yeah, it's real helpful and helps me keep my internet safe.
Well, yeah, it seems like every other day there's another breach, right? Whoa, gosh, enough already.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
So how can I help you today?
Yeah, I've got an issue here. I live out in the country, and I have a shop, out in the back. I do a lot of woodworking, piddling. And as long as my windows and my doors are open, I can get my Wi-Fi into it. But as soon as I close them, the Wi-Fi does not penetrate the metal.
Sure.
And short of running a cable out there, a hardwire, which is going to be a job in itself, it's like 150 feet. I thought I'd ask you, maybe there's something else there that can help me. So,
Well, there is. There is. But sometimes it's really hard, especially when you have metal any place around your Wi-Fi connection, because that sucker's just going to be like living in a Faraday cage, which I say often. My house is metal, it's modern, and it's like trying to get one signal to the other side of the house. I tried as much as I could with using what's called a mesh network, but invariably we had to start putting some hard drops in various places in order to get that signal there. I'm not saying that you can't try, but I'm just saying whatever you do try, make sure that you try it within that 30-day return window. And so I don't want you to buy anything and say, oh, I'm going to get to it next week, and then it doesn't come, and then you try it and it doesn't work, is the bottom line. Because a lot of this is still, even though we're 2021 and wireless networking has been around forever, is that a lot of this is still kind of try again, and if it doesn't work, then we're going to try something else. But you definitely want to go with a mesh solution. And the mesh solution, it's MESH, is different than your standard Wi-Fi, which you have now, is that it's a greater network and it extends itself better for these type of situations. And it was the mesh network that I ended up using as with a combination of dedicated drops over at the house in Santa Barbara that I mentioned is a metal house, a modern house. So when you start looking at various products, is that Eero always comes up. That's EERO. And they have something called a 3-device kit. And so you're going to put one of the extenders in the shop window, and then the other thing you want to do is put another one inside of your house, and it's about $600. John, our IT genius, uses a similar solution. He has a similar situation, rather, and he uses a TP-Link product. So I'm going to give you links to both of these, and so that this way you can look at both of the products, knowing that John set this up and it does work. I would probably go with the TP-Link, it's called the Deco, simply because he's the IT genius when it comes to networking and servers, right? I mean, we all have our specialties, and let me tell you, he's amazing. He is just amazing. So let me post links to these over inside the forums for everybody else, and then Rusty, we'll send it out to you so that you can take a look at it. If you have any questions afterwards, we're not going to just stop short here. We're always here for you, and you can always hang out with us in the Q&A forums because we always help a lot of folks out there too. And thank you so much for your kind words about the show. Stay right where you are. Scammy text messages coming throughout the country. I'm going to tell you more about that here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, here's the deal. If you get a text message that claims that you need to pay a small fee for a package delivery or even an email, it's a scam. Do not fall for it. And here's the deal. You need to stay right where you are because we have another jam-packed, fun-filled hour of the Kim Komando Show that you never, ever can afford to miss. That's right. Here on the West Star Multimedia Network. Hey, thanks for watching a past episode of my national radio show. That's why it's called The Kim Komando Show Rewind. Now, to get the entire show, all 3 hours, when it airs live, or you can get on demand, head over to getkim.com and you can become a member of the Komando community. There are a ton of perks aside from just the show. You get free ebooks, a place to get answers to your tech questions, and more of me. So come on, what are you waiting for? Click that link right now and become a member. And thank you.